Good afternoon, everyone. Today's reading is going to be a suggestion from Little Yellow Cat, great name. Will you see them again? She was basically asking about, I'm assuming it's a she, I don't know, actually, to be honest. The cat was asking whether they would see somebody who's a family friend or somebody they were close to, but this can be for anybody. I've got 3 cards out here, so it doesn't matter whether it's a personal relationship or just a friend in passing or sexual. The cards will tell me the answer, I hope. You've got number 1, number 2 and number 3, so if you want to take your choice, and we can find out if you will see them again. Hi, pile number 1. I'm going to have to restart yours again because honestly I was talking complete and utter claptrap about some wailing woman. So here we go again for that claptrap. You got the card La Llorona. That's my best pronunciation. And it's the myth or the story about a lady who drowns her own children when her husband has an affair. And if other children who are alive answer the cries of her children, then basically they drown as well. So it's quite a morbid myth, which most of them are. So it's basically a revenge story about drowning her children because of her husband's affair. It's based on the Aztec mother goddess. When Cortez invaded South America, she's weeping on the night before the invasion. And so to me, it's basically saying don't agonise over past decisions, discover a less painful way possibly to deal with this situation. Because I said earlier on in the first reading that went very wrong, your answer to your question is, will you see them again? And you've got the Tower. So I'm going to dive straight into this one. The Tower, to me, says no. You won't see them again, even though you are still feeling pain, and it's almost as if you're carrying it around inside yourself. And then by feeding on this pain yourself and not actually moving on, it's causing agony to you and maybe touching other people around them, with these children being pulled into the water with you, with the emotions that are going on. The situation to me has ended because you have got the Tower card for the answer and the 10 of Swords basically adding more information to that. And to me, it's a complete cut off. It's an end. And the end situation to this is the 9 of Wands, which is the 9 of Wands almost as if defensive feel to me. So I don't know whether this person has actually done you some harm in some way. The person that you don't want to see, or you do want to see, will you see them again? I get the feeling you won't want to see them again. You've also got the Empress card here, and you've got the 9 of Pentacles. It has got a family feel again about it. And the High Priestess is something going on below the surface. So I put this card here because I don't like the naughty words on it. Actually, no, I don't really care, but I don't know if you do. The Empress card gives me a family feel. This woman's drowning her children. It's almost as if emotions are being misused in a way. And the 9 of Pentacles is some feeling of independence or lack of independence. Right, you've got the High Priestess twice. Let me trawl through this now. The High Priestess twice makes me think in the past there has been either somebody knows the situation that's going on or the secret's kept even though they are known. Very possibly could be a relationship that has not been wholly open in some way. Some situation that somebody's been bruised in. At the moment you may still be in contact with each other, but it may be sort of a practical situation where one's giving a little bit or providing in some way, or it even could be a maintenance feel about it here. And there's still that looking out. I wonder whether you, the person having the reading, is still looking out and wondering what the other person is doing in their life and what's going on. There's a family sort of feeling or a family connection here, or an emotional connection or a nurturing connection. There's a feeling that there's been secrets kept, and now there's a lot of looking out and a lot of waiting, but the situation has finished. The person you're asking about may be quite an established person, so they could be a father. Or they could just be somebody, because the King of Pentacles here makes me think of somebody who is, I'm not saying mentally mature, but mature in the position that they hold in life. So it could be very much a father or a boss scenario that has ended. And then there's just a lot of, I'm going to say watching and waiting, but there's a defensive quality about it. This feeling, I don't know whether it's this card right at the beginning, has an intense feeling that is not positive towards you, because this lady here is like wandering through the afterlife, crying for her children. This sounds really morbid. She's crying for her children, but because she's in a different mindset or a different place, her children are quite innocent. This is so Chris Watts, and they have gone on somewhere else. So she's not actually in contact with the things that she loves anymore. And with these really drastic cards here, the Tower and the Ten of Swords, makes me feel that this situation has ended. But I wonder whether it's better for you to be, I don't wonder, it is very strongly better for you, very strongly, to be out of this situation with this person. So will you see them again? Hopefully not, I'm going to say here. I don't think it's the best thing for you to see this person again. Secrets, maybe some connection. It's got a very strong feeling of somebody who has been possibly involved with children, with the Empress here, and the fact that that card at the top, La Llorona, excuse me, anybody in South America who is actually listening to me saying this, a feeling of intensity and passion and darkness in some way, where things have got a little bit misconstrued, and you're not actually bringing the best out of each other. And the best thing to do is to basically leave well alone in this case. Leave well alone and find what makes you feel good and what makes life feel positive. I wonder whether it's almost as if with this communication card over the Tower card here and the lying low, whether you found out something or found information about this person who you are wondering about whether you'll see them again, and it's made you lie low. You found out something that is possibly secretive with the High Priestess here. It's a real pull out of a situation that hasn't been good for you, or it hasn't brought the best out of you. If it's not as dramatic as the Tower card is implying here, it's a situation that you need to basically pull out until you feel as if you're strong enough to deal with it. So this is just a short read, to be honest, but I'm just going to say the answer to your question, will you see them again? I don't think so, but I think it's best for you to find out the things that make you feel good, that make you feel positive. You have like an inner knowing and an inner knowledge. It's almost, you may have dreamt about a situation falling to pieces before it happened, which is quite common. And this person may be still in your life in a smaller way than they were before, and you're still wondering about them. But there's a defensive wondering. You know that it may not be the best thing to let this person back into your life. So this is like a reading for that. You've let the cat out of the cat flap and it's not come back home. I'm really sorry, because it's quite an intense reading. And I'm going to finish it there. So my advice to you, and let me do one for your advice. Let's do these ones, because that's quite a hard read. Advice for you would be to basically use less emotions, use your mind, and even though if you feel conflict or you feel there's been anger here or there's been upset in the past, that's fine. Just use your mind to work through it. It's as if it's a situation that was meant to be for you to actually, if it's quite intense, for you to actually learn your own lesson, and it was probably a very positive lesson of basically leaving something behind that doesn't serve you anymore. because you have got the Knight of Swords, which is quite clarity, knowing what's going on in their head and being able to sort it out. And the Five of Wands is upset, conflict, and then the Six of Cups is something to do with the past. And I think it's basically leave sleeping dogs lie type of feel here. So hopefully you won't see them again. And if it is your cat, I'm really sorry. Thank you very much, pile number 1. I hope that's not too intense. And because it's short, it actually feels more intense than if I can sort of explain it. But I don't want to go over the same thing a few times. Thank you very much for joining me. And I hope I've not upset you in any way. Bye. Right then, the answer to this is yes. But this card here, Laverna and Shirley, is sort of the heading card for your reading. And this is a Roman goddess of thieves. So in some way, there's some sort of secrecy, or there's some sort of darkness, or something that feels like it's not clear. It's a bit like the High Priestess in some way. Somebody that's quite aware, astute of what's going on, but there's something quite secretive going on. And you need to... Okay, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to tell you what you may need to do here. Your answer is very clearly yes. You've got the Ace of Swords, so that is a very clear yes. And it's something that will be communicated quite clearly, as in they may not dribble back into your life. You just could possibly just get an email, or they may just turn up on your doorstep, or you may just bump into them very soon. The King of Cups makes me think that this meeting is going to make you feel good. It's going to be like a celebration. It's going to be quite... easy emotionally, as in the exchange will be quite open. There won't be any stumbling with words or embarrassments. It's going to be like meeting an old friend that feels really nice. Now I'm going to go back to this card in a minute. In the past, the situation makes me think of some people who have just got on well and in quite a spirited way. They've enjoyed life together. It doesn't have to be a sexual connection here, but it's just a loving connection where you've had fun together. And your feelings or your thoughts are of like, it's almost like a childhood friend, somebody that just makes you feel good. There's a connection there, and there's a real fire in your belly when you're together. You know, you probably laugh together. It's probably been fun and easy. And there's just honesty and openness between the pair of you. This is where it gets a bit shifty. Your hopes and fears are for... that getting back that feeling of the sun. So you've got the sun here, and then the Nine of Cups is a feeling of contentment, and it's making me think, because the sun makes me think of children as well. If it is a long lost friend or somebody that you have been connected with in the past, as in when you were young, it's almost as if you're trying to regain that feeling, and when you meet again, you could possibly just get that back straight away. But are you ready? I was going to say at the very beginning, this card here for Laverna, what a name, I can't even say it. It's also got the end card as the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands in this pack is something that is, these two together with the lightning here. It's almost as if you need to take a different tack on your relationship from how it finished in the last instance, or the last time you were together. Unless you move on and change the relationship, it's not going to carry on, or it's not going to be, you're not going to get this feeling back of the reminiscing of when you were together before, or when a long time ago. It's going to have to move on, and you're going to have to shake the relationship up a little and think outside the box a little bit more. I don't get the feeling that there's been bad feelings between you. No, I don't get the feeling at all. I was going to go down that track, but I don't get the feeling. I just get the feeling that there's a real connection with you that was fun and it was exciting, and you connected really well, and it made you both feel young, or you were together when you were young. As in, there could be some sort of time distance between your last, I'm going to say your last sighting, sounds like a UFO sighting, your last get together, and now. And there's some sort of weighing up a decision whether it would be a good idea to contact each other. But the answer to that is yes. But if you do contact each other, you're going to have to meet on a different ground. It's not going to be the same as when you were young or when you were together. It's going to start initially with a real clarity of feelings where you're both very aware of your feelings for each other and they're positive. And it's almost as if you can meet in a party atmosphere, it's going to feel like that. But then to keep the relationship alive with the Seven of Wands down here, after that sort of smugness and that feeling that, you always used to have with this person has died down a little bit, you're going to have to realise there has been distance between you. And to keep this relationship going, which is obviously very good, you're both going to have to show the ways that you've moved on to keep it alive. So the answer is yes, but be prepared to know there will be differences between you that you didn't have when you were younger, and that it's a really strong relationship that you've had, but you've got to keep moving with it. Introduce new things. It's almost as if you can't just sit around reminiscing over the good times forever. And it's like a Facebook, isn't it? You only connect people on Facebook that you haven't seen since you were in school. And you exchange, you're really good friends and you exchange your initial sort of pleasantries. It's like, because your lives have moved on, what do you talk about next? It's got that feeling about it, as in you've got to both make a real effort to find common ground and keep moving with that. Right then, pile, Judgment card here just caught my eye. That was at the bottom, fell out, didn't it? Yeah, that's like resurrecting yourself. It's like resurrecting the relationship. And it makes me feel a long time has passed, possibly since you've been in contact. So when you do get together, even though there has been a real connection in the past, and it will still be there, and there will still be real sort of genuine feelings for each other, you've got to resurrect your relationship in a different pattern this time to make it work, or to keep it moving. It's that positivity that needs to keep being stirred. Right, pile number 2. I'm going to leave that there. I hope that makes sense in some way. It's just a short reading today, and I hope to see you again. I say meet you again because of this, but I hope to see you again. Bye. Hi there, pile number 3. Let's have a little look at will you see them again.
La música de Harry Fraud.
Okay, pile number 3. Will you see them again? I actually don't think that you will. With regards to this spread here, you've got the Tower as your answer. And the lady that you have for your general read is the red dakini, which to me makes me think of there's some sort of sexuality here. So I'm thinking it's a more intimate relationship. It's got a fateful feeling to it, but it's almost as if this relationship is ready for an energetic shift. And I think with the cards you've got here that you are doing the shifting. And I think if you did get back with this person again, that you wouldn't be on the same playing field. I made that up. Level ground. I don't know what. You wouldn't be on the same level. Okay, I'll explain why. In the past, you've got sort of a history or things lying low, so I don't think you've been in contact with this person for quite a while, but then you have got the Strength card, and with the fact you've got this red dakini here, which is a real feeling of freedom and from desire, I'm assuming. It's energy that's intense that you can't get rid of, you can't divert it. So it's almost as if you've utilised this energy and this desire for somebody in particular that has probably been quite strong and probably been quite sexual, and you may not have been able to get near them, and so you've actually worked on yourself so much with this Strength card here and made yourself into somebody different that for you to actually contact this person or get back with them would actually almost strip this away a little bit from you. Because it's something you don't think you need to do. As if this person may possibly have been brought into your life in the past to make you realise your innate power. Does that sound really corny? To make you realise who you are. It's almost a bit like, when you get fire from friction. It's that type of feeling, but that fire has actually built you up a little bit. See, I don't think, because it answers the question is the Tower, and I could very easily say, and this is like a future position with the Ace of Wands, is a new beginning and a new start, but I don't actually think that you're going to meet this person again, or the situation isn't going to ignite again. And I think that everything that has happened is going to be more to do with you than to do with them. Because this feeling here, the Five of Pentacles, with the Tower card, and the answer to your question, will you see them again? No, because I wonder whether you've had to struggle through a period of time where you actually feel shut out from this person, or you don't feel accepted from them, you don't feel good enough from them, or you haven't been able to get close enough to them. And then what you've actually done is it's forced you to fall back on your own inner workings to reboot yourself. And it's the best thing that could have happened to you. The hopes and fears, I think secretly what you still hope, you still yearn for this relationship or this connection that you had with somebody in the past, and you're still really hoping that there's going to be some sort of contact or some sort of open communication in some way. But I think these cards altogether are saying that everything that you possibly have built from this person, not being able to get hold of this person or be that much in contact with them, is actually going to be your blessing. Right, and the end cards here are the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is a very traditional card. It's very much a card of being boxed in. I've written little notes for myself. You can't divert this energy. It's freedom and it's desire that has to be basically. You can't shove it outwards again. You've got to put it internally, because you've got the Strength card and the Sun. It makes me think of somebody who has met a partner or a group of friends or a particular person that's made them feel good but hasn't given them enough. And I had a reading like this yesterday, and it's a huge shift in energy. And it's probably this person coming into your life, when you look back, will be the best thing that's happened to you, because they can't put you in a box. You know, you're not the type of person with this energy inside you, and the way that you have possibly... I can't think of the word when you react to a situation. The way that you've reacted to this person, this situation, has made shifts inside of you that you don't want to basically step back on. I mean, you could handle this person differently if something did happen, but I think the best blessing in this relationship is that you've realised that you're more, this huge bulk of energy that's been pulled towards you, you've almost realised that you're even more than that. The Hierophant is you can't put it into a box. The Strength, again, with your card here, is your inner strength. And that's what's happening at the moment, because this is the card for the moment. And the Sun is clarity. So without doubt, will you see them again? Even if you do, don't look. Just case of, you don't need this person in your life. Oh, I don't know. Maybe that's a bit harsh. I'm just saying that this has a huge intensity about it, and it is like I'm going to say alchemical feel about it, and I don't know if that's actually a word, of you having changes inside yourself, and this person's pushed you and has actually done you a real favour, and you need to thank them for it, to actually bring out your inner strength. So regardless whether it's your mum or your dad or your child or your brother or your sister or a lover, it doesn't really matter. It's all to do with the shifts inside yourself and how you perceive yourself. And I think this person has made you feel, or maybe they haven't even made you feel this, because we like to dump things on the other person. You yourself have felt slightly left out of this situation, possibly with the Five of Pentacles, and it's made you question, why do I feel left out? So what is it inside me that's making me feel like this? And you've built yourself up. Strength twice, the Sun for clarity, and this Hierophant here with this Eight of Wands here is freedom from being boxed in. So the answer to your question, will you see them again? I don't think so, but even if you do, the work has already been done. So even if you did, it would be they couldn't take anything away from you, because they've added so much to you, even though feel like you've been dragged through a hedge. Possibly, I don't know. It won't ring true for everybody, and I'm just going to leave it there. I hope it does make sense to you. Well, thank you very much for everybody, or anybody at all, for joining me today. I hope that those three cards are quite intense. The three piles are quite intense. They're new cards and they're absolutely fantastic, but they are called, I'll show you if you're interested, they are called Dark Goddess Tarot cards. And I really enjoy them because they get to the nitty gritty of it rather than being a bit too flouncy. But they possibly could be, they need a spin on them to make sure you bring the positive out. So I'm just getting used to these. But really interesting cards, really interesting reads. Right, thank you very much for joining me, everyone, and I hope to see you again. Bye.